You're doing well. Welcome to the stream for this week, which will be an X-Men game. I'm going to do a little mini series on X-Men games, I think. Starting with this one. This is the licensed adaptation of the third Fox theatrical X-Men film. You have to say that because they did a TV movie in the 90s based on Generation X. Look it up. It's really cool. Stars Max Headroom as the villain. Anyway. Yeah, X3, the official game. Very silly title for what is not really an adaptation, actually, but more of an interquel, or yeah, is that right? Yeah, it's between 2 and 3, and it has a kind of new bridging story, which is really cool. The story is actually written by venerable X-Men comics writer Chris Claremont. Lends a nice air of legitimacy to it, but we'll get to that. This is the GBA version of that game, made by Way Forward, and you would have seen their logo up top there. Well known for, when they do license games, they do them well. They make quality games, especially known for their smooth sprite animation and stuff, so hopefully we'll be seeing lots of that. Dare I do the tutorial? I'm not going to bother. That's how cool I am. Oh no. What do I do? I'm completely lost. Okay, I should check the tutorial. That's what they're there for, after all. Hopefully it's not too onerous. Okay. Here we can actually see a bit of a demonstration of the sprite art in all its different frames. That's pretty nice. Okay. Each of the 4 playable X-Men characters has 6 different forms of attack. Each character has 2 basic attacks that can be unleashed by repeatedly pressing the B button. 3 more attacks can be made by pressing the B button, along with up, down, or back on the control pad. Pressing the B button and the A button will unleash each character's special attack. Attacks vary by character, so while Wolverine slashes and Colossus smashes during their special attacks, Iceman freezes the nearest enemy, and Nightcrawler can teleport in 4 directions, through enemies or even walls. So that tells you, yeah, about what's happening with the character selection in this game, which I'll talk about later as well. At the top of the screen, the heads-up display shows off the currently controlled character's health and charge meters. Health red depletes, and then you die. Oh, yeah, there's a 4-character system, and if one character gets knocked out, you can continue with the other ones. Wolverines will recharge. Yeah, knock down enemies to fill your blue meter, and then do R for a charge boost, which quad damage. It's Quake all of a sudden. Up to 4 full charge meters can be stored at once. Oh, what? That's crazy. Defeating several enemies in a row doubles or triples. Yeah, like a combo meter will give you more charge. Press L to swap the controllable character. Yeah, got it. And then you can select them by holding the L button. Pretty cool stuff. This is good. This would have all been in the manual, but I'm glad it's in the game too, because I didn't look up the manual. And if you lose a character, you won't get him back till the next level. Oh, it does actually refer you to the manual. Funny. Yeah, so in chat we have Gibbon. Hello, welcome, friend. And Tony also here, welcome, friend. Tony saying, I'm addicted to Crash on the Run. You may laugh, but Jungle Hijinks is number 2 on the leaderboard. Yeah, no thanks to me. I've been playing it on and off and enjoying it, but I haven't been contributing to our guild as much as you have, Tony. I'm also in Jungle Hijinks. Go and check it out. Spelt without the S, if you're wondering. Alright, so we start with just Wolverine with really no story or anything. Maybe that'll come as we progress, but you can already see, look how well these characters are animated. All my actions just have such smooth motion to them. This is Way Forward's strength. Oh my gosh, I'm so impressed by this just in the first few seconds of gameplay. Let's try some of these combo things. Yeah. By holding down, I do a downward strike. By holding up, it's an uppercut slice. And holding back. Hang on a second. One. Yeah, okay, it's like a grab and throw. So like this. Beautiful. Looks like an enemy. Yeah, they'll give a little groan if they're dead, and then you. Yeah, you can attack them on the ground, I think. Oh, this animation, it's amazing. Alright, Gibbon says, I've been contributing to Crash on the Run as well, because they're in our guild too. But not nearly as much as others. Too busy playing the new Oddworld, it's so good. Indeed, the new Oddworld being Oddworld Soulstorm, a remake of sorts for Abe's Exodus, the PlayStation game. Done by Oddworld inhabitants themselves after their dissatisfaction with certain aspects of New and Tasty, which were done by a third party. Not that it's a bad game or anything. Tony says, your spirit is enough, Milo. Though me and Blue, the Intellion, are stupidly in love with the game. That's cool. I'm deciding. Oh, I think I did a special move there by accident. It was like B and then press A. Yeah, like that. Let's see if I can one day pull that off against an opponent. And just tapping L to show you that I cannot access other characters right now because at the start we only have Wolverine unlocked. Man, that dog was persistent. Naughty papa. Oh, whoa, okay. So there's a bit of sliding going on these slopes. You can't walk back up them. Gibbon is correcting me. Remake really doesn't do it justice. Like, it shares a story broadly. Oh, Tony's wondering what game this is. This is X-Men, the official game, based on the third X-Men movie directed by Human Scum Brett Ratner, and loosely based on the comic storyline Gifted by Human Scum Joss Whedon, but also including elements of Dark Phoenix by, for all I know, a perfectly nice guy, Chris Claremont. I'll talk about Chris Claremont in a bit because he's a really interesting guy who really, yeah, single-handedly or with co-creators developed the trajectory of the X-Men for almost 20 years, and then the continued development of it as it continued after that. But yeah, here we see the return of Sabretooth, who was not seen since a tie-in comic prequel for X-Men 2, which brought him back after he seemingly fell from the top of the Statue of Liberty into a boat and died. But yeah, like, I guess he's back. I'm pretty sure. Oh, and then what happened? In the comic prequel, I think he ended up being taken back to Alkali by Stryker and saving Wolverine's life. Something like that. Anyway, Sabretooth, I thought I smelled something rotten. Where's Jean? He says that a lot. Forget it, Logan. Sabretooth. The funny thing about Sabretooth is he barely talks. He only has a couple of lines in the original X-Men movie. When he comes back, of course, in Origins, played by Liev Schreiber, he's has a lot more lines, more of a main character. But this is the original incarnation of the character, who, by the way, did talk a lot in the comic adaptations of the movies. Yes, those exist. Especially when he was in the prequels and stuff. Anyway, forget it, Logan. The girl is dead to you. Not without a fight. I was hoping you'd say that. Grr, grr, tough guy. Sorry, to catch up on chat a bit, Tony's saying, I thought by the title it was X-Men for the Sega Genesis. Oh, there's quite a few actually on the Mega Drive, but no, it's not one of those. It is the GBA. WayForward's GBA adaptation of X-Men, the official game, based on X-Men The Last Stand movie. Gibbon asking, does this follow the same story as the console release of the same name? I believe so. Loosely, if not closely. The credits list Chris Claremont as original story by, whereas the console game lists it as story by. So it's maybe kind of one step removed or half a step removed, but it's definitely based on the same source there. Yeah. Tony pointing out that I should have known these were the movie designs. I actually quite like the X-Men world. Now it's going to be MCU fluff. Yeah, I really like the Fox movies. I've been rewatching them all recently, which is why I decided to do this today. Started by catching up on the ones I hadn't seen. Deadpool 2, the X-Men solo movies. Sorry, the 2 Wolverine solo movies pre-Logan. And then I was like, you know, this is fun. I'm just going to watch all of them. So now I've seen the first 3 again, First Class, and... oops, there's me dead. But I come back right here. That's good checkpointing. Yeah, and I just finished watching Days of Future Past, which kind of wraps up the trilogy, as well as tying it into the prequel film, and it's really cool. Days of Future Past has got to be my favorite of a lot of them, I think. The movie that this is sort of a tie-in to, or you know, released around the same time of and promoting, which is The Last Stand. Notoriously a bit of a messy movie, short time span, change of director. A lot of the actors were unhappy with the writing and the director and stuff. Yeah, so it's not great, but let me see. I'm gonna grab that health. There's a bit of a bar recharge up there, but I can't quite reach it. But what I will do is activate my super mode. Boom! Which will do quad damage. Take that, Leaf Schreiber. Oh no. That's right, he's not Leaf Schreiber at this point. Oh, okay. So by using my bar... Oh, what happened? Apparently the rewind buffer is not so good. Yeah, okay. So the charge bar actually does not carry over between lives, so I do have to be more careful with it. But if I avoid Sabretooth for a bit, my regenerating health will come in handy and I'll become healthy again. According to X-Men Origins Wolverine, Sabretooth also has a healing factor. Oh, yep, that's the case in this boss fight too. His health is regenerating as well as mine. But it is established that Sabretooth's is not as powerful as Wolverine's. Stryker tells him like that the adamantium bonding procedure will not work as well on him. Yeah. As for X-Men integration into the new MCU, well, we'll see how they handle it, but as far as I'm concerned, you know, the Fox universe is over, so my interest in it is kind of wrapped up in that. It actually kind of helps me to get into something if I know it's finished, you know? Because then I'm like, okay, you can put a bow on it, you can wrap it up in a little package there. And, oh gosh. So like, I can't attack him while he's attacking. This is actually pretty tough. Let's do a little bit more keep away until we have a full health bar. In the meantime, I'll tell you a bit about the game. So, this is 2006, alongside the release of the movie, more or less. This is the GBA version, as I said, by Way Forward, but it also had versions on the main consoles of the time. That would be the PlayStation 2, the GameCube, the Xbox Zero, although this was during a period of overlap between the 360 and the original Xbox, so it also got a release on the 360. As well as the computer for Windows. But alongside the GBA sort of version port thing, there was also a DS version and even a J2ME version, and they all seem to follow the same storyline as far as I can tell. Alright, so my health's back. I'll hit a save state, I'll bust off my quad damage, and yeah, it's pretty rough. There's my special. Do it again. Yeah. Avoid Sabretooth when he does that kind of attack. Yeah. Oh, nuts. Eep. Eep. Oh no. I just have to play smart for a little bit, but not my strong suit. Okay. Done. Tony says, quite a fan of Deadpool, that's returning. While Gibbon says, it'll be interesting to see if the next Deadpool movie gets meta with the X-Men film universe stuff. It should do. Before seeing Deadpool, I read a lot about how it breaks the fourth wall all the time and is really meta, but the meta stuff is really relegated to asides most of the time. The movie has a plot, and like any of that fourth wall break stuff is really ancillary. Anyway, Iceman's here, Bobby Drake. Wolverine? Whoa, watch the claws. Bobby, sorry, these things can get pretty real. What were you simulating? Oh, we were in the danger room. Right, should have known. The danger room was in drafts of X-Men 2, but they didn't have the budget, so they cut it out, and then it did appear in the third film. It's part of a training exercise. So Sabretooth is not really alive, I guess, or not confirmed to be alive in this part of the continuity. Anyway, everyone's waiting in the hangar. You're still coming, right? Would miss it, bub. I added that. Yes, Tony, it was all a dream or a simulation. Oh, Storm's here. Why can't I play as Storm? It's so boring that the playable characters they picked is just a bunch of dudes, but you know, whatever, it's fine. One thing I've always valued about X-Men is the diversity of the team, and certain games in the series do really let you play as a lot of different kinds of characters, which is nice. This one in particular, you play as 4 white guys, but well, I guess Nightcrawler's a blue guy, but whatever. Wolverine and Colossus will enter the complex. Bobby? Iceman. He wants to be called Iceman. You go with them. I want you 3 to be careful, but expeditious. Find the parts Stryker stole to create his Dark Cerebro and return safely. You have the map? Yes, ma'am. Let me get this straight. The professor needs a few gears for his mind toy, so he sends off 5 of us to get him. By all indication, the Alkali complex has been vacant since the dam broke 2 months ago. But with Cerebro down, we cannot be certain. Better safe than sorry, right? What about Blue Boy over there? Kurt's heading home, Logan, as soon as we're done here. Oh, that is a cool design. When they did the prequel comic for X-Men 2 that starred Nightcrawler, he was basically just in his comic design. But the makeup job they did for Alan Cumming was quite elaborate. And part of the reason he didn't return for the third one, because his role was reduced, and he was like, I'm not sitting in a makeup chair for 6 hours to have, 2 lines. Anyway, I'm sorry, I admire what you do for mutants, but I must go. Now let's see, shall I give Colossus a Russian accent? He didn't have one in the films, but he did in Deadpool. No one is passing judgment, friend. The life of an X-Man is sorry, what? Tpyaho? So maybe he is supposed to be Russian. Is that a Russian word? Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe they've adjusted that for this slightly off-kilter game continuity that's related to the movie continuity. Difficult. Speaking of accents, Halle Berry's Storm had a bit of an accent to go with her African origins in the first movie, but then completely dropped it for movie 2 and 3, which is fair enough. Consistency. Never mind. Difficult. And the X-Men appreciate your help over the past few months, Kurt. Danke. In the Munich circus, I was known as the incredible Nightcrawler. So now we've been given access to Peter, Maximoff, Colossus, and Bobby Drake, Iceman. Let's try out some of their moves. Whoa, sweet. Oops, doggy. Colossus would be good for doggy. Oh, that's quite brutal, actually. So he's got to grab and throw as well. And they really stun lock you, those dogs. Boom! Big smash attack, very cool. Stop it. Does Bobby jump high? He does. Also, he doesn't look quite so blonde in this sprite, but that's okay. Ah! Greater range allowed me to take out those dogs. Gibbon is actually, following along with the console version and, telling us what's happening in that. So in the console version, they're fighting a sentinel in the danger room at the beginning, which ties in much nicer with later films. Actually, that's good. I haven't really looked into the console version yet. I was a bit rushed preparing this stream, to be honest. But that's good to know. That's actually how the movie starts too, with them fighting a big sentinel. So there is some diversion between this game and the main console one as well. Oh, okay, he's not... sorry. Gibbon's not really following it along. Just played it a few times. Well, that's good. You know a lot more than me then, at least. Tony asks, how's the Deadpool game? Remember the Deadpool in X-Men Origins Wolverine? Woo! Indeed, and they do reference that in Deadpool 2 post-credit scene, memorably. Yes, I remember that. Yeah, it existed, that's for sure. Yeah, Wolverine Origins was a bit crazy. Not the best movie. Oh, okay, so we can smash bits of the environment to get charge meter. That's nice. Don't know who these guys are supposed to be. But yeah, if you're paying attention in that cutscene, this is directly following up on the events of the second X-Men movie, X2, X-Men United, where Stryker was building a Dark Cerebro, hijacked Professor X to run it in an attempt to kill all the mutants. It didn't work, but we've now returned to Alkali Lake to get the parts of Cerebro so that we can rebuild the real Cerebro, get it all up and running again. How do I get in there? I read that Colossus can smash some things, and that's his sort of strength that sets him above the others. Oh, maybe I need Nightcrawler to get into these little cavities. I'm just curious about what that X icon does more than anything else. Yeah, when I read about what characters were playable in this game, before I finished revisiting the movies themselves, I was like, it's a really weird choice to go with Iceman and Colossus because they don't really have that much of a presence in the first movie or even the second one. Pretty minor characters, but they sort of become key members of the X-Men team in the third movie. And Gibbon saying the Deadpool game is pretty good. Yeah, I've been wanting to check that one out too. It's not related to the movie continuities at all as far as I can tell, but it still seems interesting. And I really liked the movie Deadpool 2, so I thought it'd be cool to explore that a bit more. Well, somebody's home, that's for damn sure. Storm, come in, guys. I'm not getting a signal. Oh, great. It's Stryker, played by Brian Cox. And you won't. Oh, he's very southern. And you won't. This here is a secure compound. That was totally the wrong voice, lol. Don't worry about it. Who is this? Sorry, let me have another crack at that. That's none of your concern. I know why you're here, X-Men. Unfortunately, I can't allow your visit to interfere with our operations. That guy is mega dead. He is really... Like, Magneto chained him up on, like, a bit of wall when the dam broke. So, yeah, he should be totally and completely not around anymore. Maybe there's a twist. We'll see what happens. I think there's some misunderstanding. We're only here for... Show your face, punk. Goodbye, Logan. Oh no. Time bomb set? Get out fast? Yeah, I'm taking damage. What's going on? I guess only Colossus can break these things. Oh, I see. Break those and drop down. Can we drop down? Holding down and jump does not work. So maybe some more smashy smashy. Sorry, this one? Hold on. Okay, cool. The little damage that happens every few seconds actually interrupted my attack there, so it stopped me from smashing through the floor. Ah! Oh. I was hoping I'd smash the floor there, but I think I have to take out enemies first. Huh? Oh, now I can drop through the floor. Only certain floors, apparently. Very cool. Oh. Actually knocked him over before grabbing him. Never mind. So I guess these are strikers, guys. Soldiers. Oh. You know what? Who cares about fighting them? Also, if we are getting pot shot like that all the time, I think it'd be good to switch to Logan since he's got full health. It'll recharge if he gets hit, so that's good. But yeah, speaking of games related to the movies, I was thinking of maybe throwing on one or the other of the other movie-related games. But this is, I judge, to be the best one to stream based on having streamed other Way Forward games before, it being, you know, handheld and smaller scale kind of thing. That was quite a drop. My Russian accent is terrible, I apologize. We must be half a mile down. How are we going to find Cerebro now? That's not really what Iceman sounds like, but it's what he sounds like in this version of the game, narrated by me. I only see one door leading out of here, kid. This is true. Hey, wait up! Given contending that this is really the only actual movie-related game. What about the Wolverine Origins game? Wadito is here. Hello, Wadito. Saying, that doesn't look like Hugh Jackman. I think it does. And, you know, more or less. Every adaptation from the movies does adjust character designs often. So I was talking about the comics that are set in the movie continuity. There's not many of them, but the ones that exist, they, you know, they take some liberties with the character designs for sure. Absolutely they do. And this one's no different, but it's certainly intending to follow up on movie events. Given mentioned the Wolverine Origins game as I did. This ain't going on. Sorry, we're getting some health pickups. I'm really favoring Colossus for exploration just because he can smash walls a lot. But, oh, yeah, there we go. Just like in Mega Man, swapping weapon to refill it. This time I'm swapping a character to refill their health. Yeah, so I've seen Mini-Me's video about the Wolverine Origins HD game, and he seemed to like it, although, yeah, it's kind of obvious from how the game's structured that they were sort of working on a semi-related game that they then retooled into a movie tie-in game, because there's about half of it takes place in a otherwise unseen event and location. But yeah, it's still very much meant to be a tie-in. I don't know why I'm spending so much time fighting enemies. It's not really necessary for progress a lot of the time, it looks like. In fact, I'm gonna skip you guys. They seem big, they seem actually really big. But then Logan is supposed to be quite short in the comics, even though Hugh Jackman is fairly tall. I believe I read that sometimes they put James Marsden on like standing on a box or something, so that he wouldn't be much shorter than Wolverine. But like other things, they kind of didn't bother following through with that all the way through. So they don't always adjust the height of Hugh Jackman to be short. But again, with the comics set in the movie continuity, they often have people calling out Logan's shortness, enemies taunting him by calling him shorty, etc. Even though that doesn't really fit the depiction as it is in the final movie. But with those early adaptation materials, it's important to note that Hugh Jackman was actually cast quite late in development of the movie, after shooting had started, in fact. If you watch the scene where he goes and talks to Rogue on the train after she's left the school, that's the first scene he did, and his accent is pretty different to what he has in the rest of the movie. Anyway, well, it wasn't no earthquake. What was that accent? Sorry. Boże mój, he was as big as a house. Okay, so this is definitely a Russian Colossus. And it's the Juggernaut, who we do see in the third movie. But yeah, we see him locked up in that truck that Mystique's in. But I guess this is just before he was captured, I guess. Stupid X-Men. Did Chuck send you to stop me? He's also Professor X's half-brother or something. So yeah, keep that in mind. That might affect his portrayal here. But his actual depiction appears to mirror how he looks in the Last Stand movie. We are not here to stop anyone. You want to get cozy with the human race? Fine. But some of us mutants get more respect. Who are you? And what are we? What? What are you doing here? I forget Iceman's voice. Never mind. Little Twig's got a mouth on him. No worries. Soon as I'm done taking out these generators, I'd be happy to wipe the floor with you. Vinnie Jones. Vinnie Jones. Why wait? Oof, let me just catch up on chat for a second. Yeah, there are other games that use the film imagery but aren't really related. Yeah, I'll talk about those in a second. That's interesting stuff. Wendido is saying, Colossus the Metal Man being bitten by a mere Doberman. Yes, and stunlocked by it too. It really shouldn't hurt me at all, really. Tony, in reference to my deciding who gets what accent. Milu is the god of this universe. He decides everyone has accents. Also wondering if Hugh Jackman's likeness is expensive. Probably is, but it probably also increases sales of the game a lot. If you see the sides of our screen now, that's the front cover of all versions of this game. With Hugh Jackman's face front and center. You do get the other characters in the corner. But yeah, he's definitely been the main draw card of a lot of the movies. And Wadide saying that I often get overwhelmed by bullets in this game. Yes, it does appear to be the case, doesn't it? Right. Who's the best for Juggernaut? Let's recreate Deadpool 2, shall we? Boom. Uh-oh. Don't punch those generators. That's naughty. Still, this boss fight should be a lot easier on me because if I can't avoid attacks, I can only just swap to another character. Oh, well, oh, it'll do it for me. That works too. Although just sitting there and mashing is not going to be smart. Yeah, I'll just reverse those 2 hits. We can attack him while he's, oh yeah, he's running. That's the Juggernaut's thing. When he gets momentum, he can't be stopped, etc. They're originally going to use Juggernaut in Days of Future Past, actually, to break Magneto out of the Pentagon. But then they decided they would use Quicksilver for that instead. But they'd already cast an actor to play the young Juggernaut, and so they gave him the part of the young Stryker instead, who of course is very important to Wolverine's story, and it looks like he's back in this game. Ow. Yeah, he hits so hard. You just gotta get out of the way. Let's use Bobby as a bit of a sacrificial lamb here, shall we? Whoops. First, let's try and get out of the way. You can only swap when they're standing on the ground. Oh my gosh, Bobby. Oh, okay. Just found a new special move for Bobby there, but it didn't really work too well. Oh, what? I thought I had some free hits while he was digging at the engine, but apparently not. Ah. Better off just jumping over him, I guess. Ow-wee! Let's actually just pop up for that health, shall we? Yoink! Yoink! Okay, we're good. Now, where's Juggo? Yeah, so as for other games based on the movies, the first one that takes any influence from them is in the year 2000, same as the release year of the first movie. There was a fighting game on the PlayStation called X-Men Mutant Academy, and I think the character choice was influenced a lot by the lineup of characters in the movie, as well as some that weren't in the movie, like Gambit and Apocalypse. Oh, that's fine. We'll just take that hit and avoid this one. Ow. Yeah, just him jumping really hurts me a lot. And then I guess if I'm on screen when he lands, that's a big hit. Or close enough to him, at least. Ugh. Yeah, so X-Men Mutant Academy, I was going to play that, but I couldn't get the save files working because every character in there has an unlockable costume based on their movie designs, and their default is based on their comic book books. But you have to beat the story mode as that character to unlock the movie costume, and they've given movie style costumes to even characters that weren't in the movie. So that's kind of interesting. But it's very much a comic game with like some movie tie-in material as a coat of paint over the top, so it doesn't super count. Oh, gee willikers, the power's out! He must have knocked out the generators. What now? Every road has 2 directions. What's that mean? It means we keep moving, bub. Okay. Now that we start a new level, everyone's back with full health. Oop, fire. Fire, obviously. Biggest obstacle for a metal man. I suppose if it was hot enough it would be, but yeah. You do have to make some characters more vulnerable than they probably should be in games like this. Like, a Superman game might not be so fun if you are just, yeah, full Superman who doesn't have any obstacles. So they often will give them some impediment or something that's not really 100% in line with what should be the case. That makes sense. Alright, Wadito says that commenting on the platform in the boss fight, which should have been higher. And at least Juggernaut doesn't use gun. Well, he doesn't need to. Why would he? But yes, it is a lot easier to avoid him if he just sticks to melee attacks. He had a lot of quick attacks though that were hard to deal with. Ow. Does that just hit anyone on the screen? Let's test that out. Yeah. My special attack will just hit anybody. Just gonna test Bobby out a little bit. Oh, never mind. We already ran into something where he is suboptimal. That guy's just standing there. Yep, there we go. Could have been a bit more diligent with his gun. Apparently that hurts everything on screen, including that dog that gave a bit of a yelp. Poor dogs. They didn't choose to do this. Ooh, new enemy type. Not gonna get a chance to attack me. What are they doing? Just running around. Yeah, the characters are quite big on screen, which helps them to be extra detailed and smoothly animated on this GBA screen. And unlike a lot of the time, I don't think that's being a big impediment to game design. I often think that having huge characters on a small screen can make it feel really cramped and awful, but I think they're doing a decent job with it here. Dead end, should we head back? I do not like the look of that thing. As long as the power's out, my guess is our friend here is too. So yeah, this is a Sentinel. They're introducing them in the real world here. Normally you don't see them until, yeah, I guess after the events of the trilogy in the Days of Future Past Future. But you see the prototypes in the past. Anyway, it's a Sentinel. They're big in the comics. They're going to bring them in here. Oh! It's up. It's doing stuff. Kaboom! Oh, I got a double hit with a jumping punch. That's cool. Yikes. Bosses really are damage sponges in this game, aren't they? Let's just reverse that a bit. Taking a lot of damage. Pick Logan. Ugh, taking contact damage from the Sentinel, or is it the moving hand that's hurting me? Maybe it's time to burn some of our quad damage. Oops. Well, we don't want Logan to go down. Hold on a second. Okay. Quad damage time. Well, that was a bust. Really bad. Take out the drones first. Oh, okay. We can actually damage the main Sentinel by hitting drones back into it. That could be a safer way of doing damage, or when it retracts its arm, can move in for a jumping attack like so. Still take some contact damage from that though. Okay, I'll have to go to a higher platform to avoid that. And I think, given how much damage it's doing, I don't think burning a quad damage will be very efficient here. You just have to be more careful. We might be here a while. Gibbon says, I think this is what I was thinking of in regards to the Sentinel fight that opened the console game. And Sabretooth might have been in the danger room, even in the console version. It's been a while, lol. Okay, well, I'll forgive you for that, but let's assume that we're closely following the same events from the console game. Why not? Ow. Stop it. Ugh, dang it, really? Oh, What happened there? Did I win? Okay, I guess I won. Friends! Kurt, thank God! We're stuck down here. We heard rumblings. There is an elevator if you follow. You know, I think I might have mixed up German and Russian. But anyway, Nightcrawler's on our team now. Hang on. Let's just have a look at that design. Looks like they adjusted it a bit. Maybe it's based on early concepts from the third film, before Alan Cumming dropped out. I would be interested to know more about that. But from what I've read, the game kind of gives a justification for why Nightcrawler leaves the team and isn't present in the third movie, because the lifestyle of the X-Men was too violent for him. He didn't want to continue fighting and hurting people and stuff. Oops. Taking a lot of damage in this lift. It's kind of cute that they've got like this cheery kind of ditty for this elevator ride because, you know, lift music. Ah. No! I should be doing that more. That knocks them down. Ah! Oh, cool. Very nice. Ugh. Well, no, man. So much for Bobby. Yep. Oh, okay. Wait, what? What's this? Why am I doing it again? I'm not even sure why I'm in a lift in the first place. Oh boy, that's really rough. Hold on a second. Stop it. You know what? Nah! The ability to hit everyone on screen could be useful here, but you gotta do it twice to take down these guys. As long as I can do it with good timing, I can get them before they enter the screen or enter my damage zone. Makes sense, right? Maybe use Kurt's power. Oh yeah, Kurt. I have Nightcrawler now. Got some nice kicks and stuff. Backflip. It's very acrobatic, of course, being a circus performer. Just try out his combos a bit. Oh. Looks like he's got a tail grab and throw, but it's not really working. Maybe it just does damage. Let's try a special. So his special involves teleporting, but I don't quite have room to do it in this lift. Can I just leave? What? We're here again, and I've actually lost Nightcrawler, so let's not lose Nightcrawler. Yeah, I've tried teleporting out of the lift now, and it doesn't seem to do anything. I don't know. Did it set me back because I failed to do something? Oh. So I can warp upwards, downwards, not downwards. What? Okay, I guess I did it. Cool. I think I was supposed to teleport out at the right time. It's hard to tell, but whatever the case, we made it. I hate elevators. What were those things? Robots, flying ones. I have a feeling something big is going on here. You think? We should leave. Storm has asked me to gather you. Just when it's getting fun, not a chance. Besides, the professor still needs his parts. Wolverine's right. If we can't get Cerebro back online, we're in a bad spot. Come on. Woo. I do like Nightcrawler. Again, my German accent notwithstanding, he's interesting. Oh, cool. His running animation was lower than those bullets. That's very nice. Yeah, he's got this whole thing going on where he looks quote-unquote demonic, but he's actually a devout Catholic, and that's kind of a conflict for him and for how others see him as well. So this is all kind of tying into that whole Chris Claremont era. Chris, I think Nightcrawler... I wrote out a list, but it's not complete, of like characters that he co-created, and Kurt's not on there, so I'm not sure. But he was certainly behind the Excalibur run. Excuse me? Is this Toad? Toad's back, and he's using his tongue. Yeah, so there you go. We can get through walls like so. Ouch. Toad definitely should be dead. Because you know what happens when Toads get struck by lightning, right? Ah! So that's not a valid spot to walk to. But I can go up. Whoa, what was that? Let's pick someone tougher and try that. Oh, it's a different kind of drone. Wadino says Nightcrawler's attack looks sluggish. Yeah, that's... Everyone is kind of similar in how they feel when they attack in this game. And it's kind of a beat-em-up thing where your attacks are a little bit slow and deliberate sometimes, which is fine. It's not my favorite genre, and this is kind of a platformer beat-em-up hybrid with some exploration and stuff. Some. See, there's even things like that where you can throw an enemy into another one and deal damage that way, which is pretty cool. Alright. Nightcrawler time. Nope. That's not the end of the level. So yes, I can warp downwards as well as upwards. And here is a mini sentinel. Whoops. Teddy says, remember WandaVision? I didn't watch it, so no. Everyone thought it was leading to mutants in the MCU, lol. Well, that would be an assumption based on Scarlet Witch's history in the comics, but there you go. Trapped again? Whoever designed this place deserves a medal. Or a clot of gut. These walls, they feel very... They're chalky, not reinforced like the rest of this place. Feel like some exercise, big guy. Da, I live for it. Boom, kabang! I punch things. Gibbon says he certainly helped form his character. Which... Oh gosh, which character? Sorry, I waited too long and now I forgot the context of what you're referring to. Ah, stop it! Kaboom. Oh, really? Just run away from that. Yeah, and Tony, in reference to WandaVision, I hated the final episode so much, and Gibbon is also mad about that. Oh! Oh, wait, what? Oh, I see. So normally it'll, like, swap you to another character, but Colossus is actually required to bash down walls, so if you lose Colossus, it'll actually take you back to a checkpoint or something. But we don't need to break down the walls, actually, because we can just walk through them. And yeah, the teleporting effects do look like they do in the movie, more or less. A bit more purple and blue. But in the prequel comic, which must have not had any ability to reference production materials in the movie, it looks more like it does in the comics as a pink puff of smoke. No more walls. Where are we? Looks like some kind of lab, but for what? I don't know. Stinks of suffering in here. Watch yourselves. Perhaps you should try another path. Hey, who are you? This is a restricted area. That's a scientist? Okay, cool. Well, I'm a scientist. I always bring a stun baton to work, don't you know? But then again, I don't work in a military facility. Wadito says, I don't think this game is good. Well, I'm enjoying it better than I did the Thor game for DS that WayForward also made. I would put it on a similar level to that. So it looks like they're experimenting on mutants here or something. They've got some kind of bat-winged creature in some tanks. And that would definitely be in line with Stryker's MO in all of his appearances in the movie universe. Or should I say universes? That whole weird split timeline thing, yeah. A bit confusing. Especially confusing because there was already so much discontinuity. I can't quite get that jump off. Hold on. There we go. Just eating my inputs or something. Yeah, whatever. WayForward's actually done several games in this style, superhero, beat 'em up platform attack things. I mentioned Thor DS. They've also got a Flash game on Game Boy Advance, which several of the same devs who worked on this also collaborated on the Flash game. They had a what's the other one? They did a Batman Brave and the Bold game on Wii and DS, which was quite good. It really felt like an episode of the show, or a series of episodes of the show put together. It was really cool. And the DS and Wii versions had quite different content between them, which was nice. Okay, these are really tough. Oh, I need that, thanks. Oh, two of you lined up at once, huh? Tony says, Shrek the Third by WayForward. Did WayForward do that? Or are you making up an alternate universe? I would believe that they did. Ah, here we go. One of those X icons. We'll find out what it does now. I think we will. I hoped we would. Apparently we won't. What? Okay. Whatever. Teleporting is cool. Oops. It's so easy to just run past enemies. And I don't mind doing it. Oh, okay. That's a bit different to what I was expecting. Apparently it was a virtual pet game with the Shrek babies. Goodness. Now that you mention it, that does ring a bell. And not actually too far outside some other work they'd done, because they're also responsible for Daffy Duck, Looney Tunes Duck Amuck game on DS, which was sort of a virtual pet kind of thing. You interacted with Daffy Duck on the touchscreen and he did all kinds of wacky things. Kind of an interactive cartoon in more of a literal sense than other games that claim to do that kind of thing. You know what? They're probably cloned Toad. That's why there's multiple Toads. I would believe that. Whoa, who was that? Somebody on fire? What? Okay. Well, I did notice before that enemies can run into hazards in the level and that does damage to them. A dog actually got killed by a fire trap earlier, so that might have been one of those scientists who got damaged by something else. John, what are you doing? Oh, this is John Allardyce, aka Pyro. In the movies, he is a fellow teenage student along with Bobby and Rogue Marie. In the comics, he's an Australian adult who was always on Magneto's side in the Brotherhood of Mutant Supremacy. But yeah, of course, this is the movie universe. Bobby Drake, still fighting the good fight, eh? When are you going to start taking care of your own? By torching a bunch of scientists? Oh, maybe I was supposed to notice that scientist on fire, and that was the result of Pyro, so that was a little scripted thing. Very cute. Very good stuff. Something I didn't know I was supposed to connect that with until right now. But that's what the writing is for. Anyway. Who says I can't enjoy my job, right? John, come back with us. Magneto's just using you. Come back so I can help protect people who want me dead? You X-Men are worse than the humans. John. The name's Pyro. Let me give you something to remember it by. Let me guess. A lot of fire, maybe? Yeah. Looks like it. Oh boy. What we can do is teleport inside the fire ring. It didn't work. Let me try it again. Yeah, baby. Oh, that didn't work either. Okay, whatever. Ah! Fires happening all over the place. Oh. Okay, well. Now. Oh, he just regenerated the ring. That was pretty rough. Let's just go back. Hold on a second. Catch up on chat. Good time to do that at the start of a boss fight, eh? Wadito says, correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't Wolverine have the ability to regenerate health? Indeed he does. It just happens quite slowly in this game, that's all. Tony asking, what do you think about the movie X-Men Apocalypse? I really like it, actually. I like most of the movies, and I didn't like First Class when I first watched it, but now that I've just rewatched it, I think it's just as good as any of the other alt universe recast movies. And yeah, Apocalypse was really cool, I think. Tony says, I love Duck Amuck, what a fun little toy. But also, yes. Tony says, I'm a scientist. I have lots of weapons against people who sneak in. Well, that's fair enough. If somebody snuck into my lab, what would I do? I would just tell them to leave, because there'd probably be a student. Can I be real? The boss music drives me insane. Well, I do actually not disagree with you, so for this boss fight, I'm going to turn down the volume of the game. There you go. It's going to be a lot quieter for you now. Alright, who should we use? Maybe Colossus will resist fire. He hasn't any of the other times, but it's never too late to start. Oh, they're growing plants in here. Very nice. So I'm going to wait for him to fire a few off and then try and get some hits in. This is pretty rough. Maybe I should be using my invincibility frames, because he actually is taking a lot of damage from my attacks. I'm not sure how else I'm supposed to do this. I don't have much of a ranged... Actually, you know what? Ooh! Ow! He made a dragon. That's cute. Bobby would probably have a good chance here. Slightly longer range. The ice powers are a natural antidote to the fire. Oh my gosh, that was not a good plan. I'll use my mobility to get around. Oh! Yes, got one punch in. Beautiful. Ow, stop it. Okay, so that didn't go well. But luckily when we die, we get to start again with all our health back. Freeze him remotely. If I'm on the same plane as him, I could try this attack. Actually, that might hit him. Yeah, there we go. Still vulnerable. Yeah, okay, that actually worked pretty well. I just have to, position myself well now, and then... Okay, if I can get him stuck in a pattern like that... Oh yeah! Bobby's hit all the enemies button. I forgot about that. Can do that. Ah, that took him down. Well, I can grab this, and then just try and stay out of the way of the dragon. Jump over, and then go like this. If I interrupt his concentration, I think that will... Jump over! Yeah, the other thing I can do is try and get away from it and then just run up and punch him. Yeah, there we go. So then I just have to be careful about my own movement. Oh, I can't believe that didn't hit. Ah! Tony, you're dead right. Saying, Milo is a real scientist. He does boring stuff. I am a real scientist. I make shrink rays, cloning machines, and have an evil laugh. The choice is clear. You're completely right. I am the boring kind of scientist. You are the fun kind of scientist. This is working. Oops. Just have to be very careful. There's a lot of kind of cooldown with some of my attacks. In true beat 'em up style. Yeah, so as long as I avoid that at first and then get a hit in, it'll go away. It'll give me another chance for another hit. Whoops. Or I can always default to the long range attack, as long as I'm not in the line of fire. Literally. Yeah, ingenious. Thanks for the suggestion, Ferdito. Woohoo! I didn't even mean to make that pun. Yes. Cool down. Get it? Thanks, Ferdito. Oh, that's a strange sprite. I'm not sure what that was. And yeah, now that I've got him caught in this little corridor over here, it's a lot easier to avoid some of his attacks. Oops. Well, never mind. We're close enough now. We can take a few hits and just take him down. Yes. Goodbye, Pyro. I'll see you in the movie. John! Let him go, Bobby. He's a lost cause. It appears to be raining. John's fire set off the sprinkler system. We better get moving, Peter. I cannot break through these walls. Let's head back then before we all drown. Is Wolverine immune to drowning? Because he was underwater for a long time at the end of Days of Future Past. It's kind of, yeah, sometimes confusing what the limits of his healing powers are. I think he says something when he has like his kind of guest appearance in Ms. Marvel, the run by G. Willow Wilson. He said something about not being able to swim or something, implying that like his heavy metal skeleton will drag him down to the bottom. But I can't remember if he says anything about drowning being a problem for his healing powers. I don't know. But yep, I guess in the movie universe, it's been established, at least at a point after this was created, that drowning is not a problem for him. Don't worry about it. Gibbon saying at least from a comics perspective, drowning is one of the only ways you can kill him. It's how Darkan died, which is the Dark Wolverine. I think that's Wolverine's illegitimate son. Not illegitimate, actually. I think he was married to a Japanese woman at some point, from what I remember browsing Marvel wikis. Is this... Oh, that's not Toad, is it? That's the Batwing person that I saw in the tank earlier. They've let them out, or they've busted out, and they're quite at home in the water, it seems. Interesting. Yes, Darkan is his son. I think sometimes known as Dark Wolverine. That might be a separate character. Yeah, comics. There's a lot of history to them. Yeah, Aswedito says he still needs oxygen. Yeah, he's not just invincible. Although in the movies, sometimes he's pretty invincible. Cool. I think I was reading once about... He once got his legs cut off and then he had to find them and reattach them or something. Of course, when Deadpool gets ripped in half, he grows his legs back. Who knows? Oh, that's good, Tony. I'm glad that's working for you. Tony's talking about using Zoloft, which is a brand name of sertraline, an anti-anxiety medication. And they say that, it's working well for them. By the way, let's just pick up that with somebody else. I'll try Bobby for a bit, why not? His agility might help with getting out of this water sooner. Ow. The first week was rough on Zoloft. I'd get insomnia and extreme nightmares, but those stopped, and I'm honestly used to it already. It's pretty good. Wow. That's awesome. Glad to hear it, Tony. This downward attack has slightly more range, so just using it to damage that sentinel a bit. Yeah, Logan's back. Cool. Anyway, X-Men. Oh great, the sewer level, love it. Always love to see that. Same types of enemies so far. Gibbon says, Darkan was Wolverine during, quote unquote Wolverine, using that name, during the Dark Avengers period where Osborn had conned his way into S.H.I.E.L.D. leadership and quote unquote reformed a bunch of villains and framed the heroes, sending them into hiding. Hence Dark Wolverine. Okay, interesting. I know for a while Laura X-23 was Wolverine as well, who we see in Logan. Ow. Yeah, Tony says that they heard horror stories about side effects, and while they were bad, it was only for a week. So that's good. I'm glad it passed. Can we climb ladders? No. Let me see. Let's try going down here. Yep, okay, cool. Just pass through that thing that was holding the water up. Don't think too much about the physics of that. What's the worst mutant power? Worst in terms of consequences? Maybe like Proteus or Legion, who are just incredibly powerful and insane. Gibbon says the guy who can shoot tuna melts out of his hands. I don't know who that one is, but it sounds interesting. People always made fun of gold balls, and then they reclaimed gold balls in the Powers of X series, where he turned into Egg, who was vital to the mutant resurrection plan. But surely there are some that are like actively detrimental to your life. I'll leave that up to... let me see. Okay, I think an interesting thing that the movie, the New Mutants did was that all the main characters were kind of... their powers could be very destructive, and they had accidentally caused a lot of harm with them, and that was part of their trauma. And so that they used that to explore that idea. Oh, Nightcrawler's so fast. I'll use him more, I think, for this bit. Skip past a lot of stuff. Very nice. So Danny Moonstar's power is pretty rough, actually. Subconsciously manifesting the worst fears of people around you such that they can do yeah, a lot of harm to people. That's pretty rough, until she learned to control it. Come to terms with it. Because the way it was manifesting in that instance was really a result of her trauma. And yeah, this is one of the things I really like about the X-Men, actually, is how they use these fantastical powers to make interesting character stories, or to say things about social things. Sorry, I'll explain that more in a minute. I think I've gleaned what these do. I think if one of your team is down, it'll bring them back, but whenever I've come up to one, none of my team is down, so they just don't do anything. So like an extra life or a revive. Yeah, so one of the things that's interesting about Chris Claremont, who again is connected with this game, having written the story of this sort of integral chapter, is that between... hold on, I've got notes on this. Between 1975 and 1991, he was kind of the main writer on the Uncanny X-Men series, and he's responsible both for the creation of a lot of beloved characters, such as Rogue, Kitty Pryde, Psylocke, the Phoenix concept, Mystique, Emma Frost, Jubilee, Rachel Summers, Moira McTaggart, all characters, many of which are important in the movies as well. Also, even more, Danny Moonstar created her. Wolfsbane, other members of the New Mutants as well. Mariko, what was her last name again? I didn't write it down. Not important. Anyway, she's also important in the Wolverine, the second solo movie. Sabretooth, Legion, Gateway, Captain Britain, Gambit. All characters co-created by Chris Claremont during his run. And all very well beloved. Okay, something important is happening. I know this place. What is it? Someplace bad. Let's not get into it. So this is the chamber where Wolverine was implanted with adamantium bones, and it's very much what we saw in X2, including the X-rays up on the wall there showing Lady Deathstrike's modifications, and I believe that that is who we see on the other side of this room. Kurt, can you find us a way out of here? I can search, but... Oh! Who's there? It's a girl. Oh, it's not Lady Deathstrike. Okay. Okay. Let me think about this. How does this fit in the movie universe? Well, they do say that Logan is like a pretty completely separate continuity. So I guess in the original X-Men films continuity, we do have an instance of Laura now, different from the one in Logan. That works. Yeah, that's good enough. So here's X-23. She is a clone of Wolverine, who is female, because I don't know how clones work, but I guess you can do that. And yeah, she's got the same adamantium claws and stuff. Timelines, yes. Stay calm. We will not hurt you. I said get away. I'll kill you all if I have to. I'd like to see that. Wolverine, stop it. Why are you here? Are you lost? What am I, 6? Don't talk down to me, beanpole. Hey! I'm here looking for answers about my past. Just stay out of my way. It has nothing to do with you jerks. It's dangerous here. I think you should join us. He's right. We can't leave you here, kid. One way or another, you're coming with us. Cute claws. Let me show you mine. Ow! Rude. So, as is tradition right now, I'm going to catch up on chat. Is that a real thing, that tuna melts thing you said, Giffen? Wadito saying, I like to say Professor X's power is pretty lame. Are you kidding? The most powerful brain in the world? Pretty lame? No way. His power's cool. His power is so cool that they have to contrive ways to remove him from the plot in every one of the movies that he's in. Because otherwise he'd be too powerful. Sorry, I just realized that I've still got the volume down quite low. And it's been a while, so I'm turning it up again. Oh yes, Gibbon did follow up on the tuna melt guy. He is the point of view character in a song about the Great Lakes Avengers. Oh, okay, so maybe not a real comics character. By the way, during the stream, Tony has raised 1,200 trophies for the guild. Wow. That's pretty impressive. Thanks. There's a song about the Great Lakes Avengers about a guy who can shoot tuna melts trying to get on any team but them. Oh yeah, aren't the Great Lakes Avengers like the kind of joke team? I think they're the one where they have Squirrel Girl and a Fish Boy or whatever, and some others that I don't remember. Yeah, they got like funny animal superhero characters, I think. Gibbon also saying that they don't remember Laura being in the console game. Well, at some point I'm going to play it myself and then I will report back. Oh my gosh, that's powerful stuff. Let me see. Wolverine's probably the best to take her on, actually. Ow! Quit it. Actually, now's a great time to use quad damage. Ow! But like all boss fights, I think you have to wait for your opening. That seemed like a good opening. But now, I've run through one bar. Time to wait for a bit of regeneration. Actually, Laura's going to have the same regeneration powers that Wolverine does. She is Wolverine, in fact, as I said, later on in the comics. Although looking at her bar now, it doesn't really seem to be refilling very fast, which is good for me. Uh-oh. She's coming in here. Help me! Oh no! I tried swapping to Colossus and it didn't work because I guess everyone else is taller than Wolverine. He's the only one who can fit in this little corridor. Alright. Oh! Ouch! That was cool. You do see her doing stuff like that in Logan. Just... Ow! Run away! Oh, okay. So Gibbon's looking it up. Apparently, Juggernaut, X-23, and a couple of other bosses are actually unique to the Game Boy Advance version. That's really cool. So there you go. If you want the one with more content and a lot of bonus comic characters, then yeah, check out the GBA version. But other versions are available. Yeah, I thought this was Deathstrike just looking at it, but oops. Oh, this ain't good. Ah! Oh no. Okay, that was not good. I'll just go back here. Bobby's got a bit more range to his attacks. Oh! That kick though. Oh! How did that do no damage? I'm upset. Okay, this is working. Spam. Ow. Okay, surely. No! Oh man. Colossus has such short range too. I think I could actually land a hit. Nah, let's get back to Bobby. No. So yeah, I talked about some of the characters that Chris Claremont invented. We'll talk more about some of them, I think, in upcoming streams, because judging by how long this is taking, I kind of wanted to get through this whole game to keep it focused. But there's lots of other interesting X-Men games that, again, play up what I mentioned earlier, the diversity of the team, and how it's a lot of different kinds of characters that you can see, and also different kinds of characters that you can then play as in the game adaptations, which is interesting. But yeah, alright, we're gonna have another scene now, so... Well, you know how to use these... well, you know how to use those things. She didn't use her foot knives in that battle at all, by the way. So do you. My reasoning has nothing to do with you. I'll leave now. Okay. That really does make her feel tacked on to this adaptation, you know. Just popped in for a boss fight, then left. Although it does kind of imply that she was experimented on and modified in the same way Wolverine was in the same place as well. Nothing to do with you, wink wink. Well, that's a good point. Again, she is a clone of Wolverine. Come with us, kid. I know why you're here, but this place is graveyard. The man you want died 2 months ago, even though we heard his voice at the start of the game. I can't. I need to find out about who I am. And we can help! I'm sorry. This is something I need to do myself. I know your demons, darling. I've been down this path. Then you know why I need to do this alone. So yeah, cool little thing to have her in there. Okay. You know what? You know who's good for getting through a level? Cut! No, stop it. Run, 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 run. Teleport. It didn't work. Never mind. Ooh. See? If I use Colossus to break this computer console, I can get lovely goodies. Yeah, Nightcrawler and Colossus are a good match for traversing the level. Ow. Oh no, bullets! My one weakness. Oh no, plasma bolts, my other weakness. Ah, stop it. Ugh. Okay. Okay, Tony has now done a Google search of this game and has found out some stuff about the plot that's going to happen later. Apparently Hydra is in this game. Yes, I've also read that Silver Samurai is there before appearing in The Wolverine as a member of Hydra. So that should be interesting. Hopefully we get that far. But Tony also pointing out this is before any MCU stuff, so I suppose this is considered fine enough to reference. Actually, speaking of The Wolverine, they kind of had an incarnation of the character Lady Hydra in that as a mutant. But without the Hydra connection. But yeah, as you say, like, at this point, I guess, I don't know how they got away with it, to be honest. But yeah, I will point out that Silver Samurai had already appeared in the movie tie-in comics at this point in that continuity. So the Wolverine-based prequel to the first movie had a story where he teams up with a Canadian police officer who has amnesia, who is somehow tied in with organized crime, because I think she was like infiltrating them undercover or something. But yeah, the Silver Samurai shows up as an enforcer of the mob. I think it's the Yakuza, maybe? I'm not sure. It can't be the Yakuza, but it's yeah, some organized crime thing. Gah. Alright, time to... Oh, I actually lost Colossus. Whoops, my bad. Beep. No! So many enemies. I'm glad they don't make you fight any of them. They don't lock the room and force you to do combat before you can leave. Ow. I thought I could spam through that guy. Oops. Stop. Cool. Yeah, Wadito points out that there's these enemies are kind of damage spongy. Oh, Sabretooth does exist. Never mind, or disregard my earlier comments about him not existing. I was wondering what would find you. Sabretooth, you bring the whole place down. I'm under orders, kid. I'd love to stain the floors with your blood, but I'm busy now, so take off. He's going to take out the second generator room. If he does that, we'll never find our way out of here. Yeah. By the way, where's Kitty in this game? Also, Storm just kind of stayed outside the whole time? I don't know. Whatever. You cannot allow them to do this, my hairy friend. Wait, which hairy friend was he talking to there? In the comics, Nightcrawler is covered with a fine layer of fur, but not so in the films. It's always something. Ready for an ass-kicking Wolverine? Been practicing all week. Literally, he has. We saw that in the prologue. Yes. Wadito says, Hydra is always behind everything evil in the Marvel Universe. AIM is less known. Gibbon says, Tony, you've read my giant. How Days of Future Past's rewritten history leads to the MCU rant, right? I am familiar with this rant, I think. It involves, yeah, mutant stuff, Deadpool, things established in other instances. And yeah, the rewritten history stuff. What a really fun thing about those movies that I like, the reboot movies, is how the first one's in the 60s, and then after that they're in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. I wish they did a little bit more with making that part of the aesthetic of those movies, but they do a decent job at it. I was even reading how the cinematography techniques they used in First Class were supposed to evoke films of the 60s, or be in line with techniques used at the time. But yeah, Gibbon saying that his grand unifying theory there, this game factors into it with the Hydra and AIM and stuff. I don't know what AIM is. I'm not really a Marvel zombie. I just like the X-Men. Oh, and I do like the Marvel UK stuff. I talked about that briefly in our Lego Marvel Superheroes 2 stream, but like Death's Head, Captain Britain, I read a fair bit of that stuff thanks to the Doctor Who connections and found it pretty cool. Yeah, they stopped producing stuff in the UK after a while. They brought in some UK writers every now and then, but whenever they passed those characters off to American writers, it wasn't the same after that. But yeah, Psylocke. started as a Captain Britain character. She's the sister of Captain Britain. Ugh. Yeah, I should know better. Oops. Hey, just let me out, please. Okay, this is what I should have done. Oops. I should have done this. No? How about this? No. I was gonna teleport past him, but whatever. Ah, you're in my way, buddy. What? Okay, well I avoided that somehow. Given says, coincidentally, you've got this gap for the 2000s and early 2010s, which is when most of the MCU takes place, and mutants are much less prevalent in the rebooted timeline, which is explained in Logan. Yes, I agree. There is ways to fit them together. So if you're inclined to do that, it's perfectly possible to reconcile the X-Men films and the MCU films. I just never really had much of an interest in the MCU, personally. Oops. But it is very interesting seeing these things that were definitely not supposed to be connected in any way. And they are able to be worked into a coherent timeline if you're so inclined. And of course, Deadpool has the crashed shield helicarrier at the climax, so there is that. Oops, that was a mistake. Of course, I think we can all agree that the best Marvel movie is Spider-Man Spider-Verse. Too bad that never got a tie-in game. Okay. Yeah, so the key to this guy, and many of the bosses, is playing Keep Away. I think it's a little easier with Sabretooth, because he's a bit slower. Cool. Right. There's so many things that I've been trying to say and then got distracted. A lot of notes half left covered here. But anyway, Toad, Sabretooth, Pirate, they're all here. Magneto's behind this. But what interest would these mutants have in an old facility? X-Men! Storm, finally! I'm reading you! That structure is very unstable. You need to get out of there. Is Kurt with you? Yes, I am here. Good. Something has damaged the foundation. It will not hold up for long. Was it Phoenix, maybe? The whole facility kind of fell in on itself at the end of the last movie. Anyway, we're not leaving without hitting Cerebro first. We came here on a mission. And you will be completing it. Dark Cerebro is just a few rooms north of you. Get the parts and leave immediately. Works for me. Come on. He forgot to mention Juggernaut. Well, yeah, but they hadn't met Juggernaut at that point and didn't know that he was affiliated with Magneto. In fact, he wasn't affiliated with Magneto until the events of the third movie. So, yeah, I'll forgive that. Oops. Yeah, good to use Logan early because I think that he regenerates health even when he's in reserve, which is nice. Oops. Didn't get that jump off quite right. Your movement's a bit hampered when you're overlapping enemies, I think. Now let's just deal with this guy. Cool. Whoops. Never been able to pull that off, have I? Alright, let's... Oh, that's nice. Swap to cut. Yeah, that helps. So Storm set a few rooms north of here, and all I've done so far is climb up this shaft. I hope that I'm doing the right thing here. Ow! Hee hee hee. Oops. Oh man. Alright, back to Logan. Yeah, I think he did regenerate. Anyway, let's close some loops here. So, I was talking about other movie games. So I mentioned Mutant Academy on the PlayStation, X-Men 2, X2, X-Men United kind of got a tie-in called X-Men 2 Wolverine's Revenge on the PS2, GameCube, Xbox, and PC, as well as a version for Game Boy Advance. Not by WayForward. But I think this is one of the things that Gibbon was talking about earlier. It's sort of a loosely connected tie-in to the movies. It's sort of a, you know, kind of a new plot like this one, but not 100% movie tie-in thing. Whereas this one I think was more intended to be, you know, using movie likenesses, being a bridge between movies, that kind of thing. X2, a bit more of a loose tie-in for Wolverine's Revenge. It definitely deals with Alkali Lake, Stryker, Wolverine, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think I read that Mark Hamill does the voice of Logan in the game, but they did get Patrick Stewart back to voice old Chucky Xavier. Oh, stop it. Got it. Cool. Oh no! Gibbon says maybe the reason they didn't mention Juggernaut in that last cutscene is because he was exclusive to the Game Boy Advance version and they're just reusing the script. That's possible. Although I like my explanation. I can see him winding up for it, but yeah. Oh, I wonder if I can grab a health pickup of this guy. Nope, not this time. Maybe I will take the time to attack a few nasties and try and get health back. I'm noticing a thing that happens in a few of these WayForward beat-em-up style things where they don't have so much enemy variety. Another one that comes to mind is Blood Rain Betrayal. Excellent game, very well animated, but yeah, a lot of repetition in terms of enemy types that gets a little bit tedious, just a little bit as you progress through the game. Otherwise it's still really fun to play. That's really the peak of their 2D action combat kind of games, I think, really. I really like that game. And it will soon become unavailable on PS3, so maybe go check it out if you're interested. But it's also available on PC. Anyway, I was talking about other movie tie-in games, so I don't know, Gibbon hasn't weighed in on X-Men Wolverine's Revenge. Oh, there we go. They've given me a pickup. Quick, kill Nightcrawler. Oh, it went away. Never mind. Maybe I should just let them swap back. Logan's got his stuff back again. Lovely stuff. Let's get out of here. Oops. Yeah, it's hard to jump when you're right on top of an enemy. They do that on purpose. Oh, I was going to grab that health with Kurt, but then I got shot. Had to use it up on Logan. Never mind. This is the end anyway. And yeah, I mentioned before already the X-Men Origins Wolverine game has a few different uses, different SKUs. There's the HD version, PS3, Xbox 360, and PC, a PS2 and Wii version, a DS version, and a PSP version. I think, is there a J2ME? This game has a J2ME version, this one. Maybe. Remains to be seen. Anyway, here's the professor. Bobby, I'm transmitting an image of myself. Patrick Stewart. Engage. You're all in great danger. I need you to return home immediately. Oh boy. Professor, the Brotherhood is here. They don't concern us now. Leave the complex while you still can. What about the pods? Something doesn't smell right. Yeah, I think this is a fake professor. Gibbon, did they have a fake professor? Oh, it's Mystique. Hello. Oh, and now it's Juggernaut. Okay. Yikes. Very painful. There's no way that Mystique Juggernaut would do that much damage. Famously, she doesn't have the powers of the people that she turns into. She just replicates their appearance. Oops. Although maybe that's a little bit different in the movie universe too, because the Days of Future Past makes a big deal about how she's the reason that the adaptive sentinels that can essentially replicate other mutant powers to combat them were created. So, I don't know, whatever. Tony says, it is interesting. The X-Men work way too well by themselves, even better than Spider-Man. Of course, works well with the Marvel characters too, but it's a shame about the movies. Oh well, I guess. Yeah, the movies are hit and miss to be sure, but I still love them a lot. I think they do a good job, at least some of the time, of getting across what is great about the X-Men characters. She turned into a dog. That's amazing. So what you're going to do, I guess, is, yeah, attack the transformed form for a while until she reverts and is kind of stunned, and then that's when you can do damage to her. Otherwise, yeah, it's a bit of waiting. Oops. That's very cool. Can't wait to see what she turns into next. Let's try Bobby against Juggernaut. Ah! No! Don't. Yeah, don't overdo it. It's a bit like Dark Souls. Don't overcommit. Don't be greedy. Do your hits and then get out of the way. So yeah, let's talk about that some more. That's a really good topic about the X-Men, is how there's this element of allegory to them, which is something that Chris Claremont was involved with developing further when he was in charge of X-Men storylines. There's this whole thing where in the beginning, you know, you can interpret the X-Men as having some allegory for race relations and that kind of prejudice and stuff. They even reference this in Deadpool 2 briefly. But there's other elements that come into it, you know, the fact that your powers manifest in puberty and then as a result of them you get ostracized by other members of society and even your own family in some cases. And sometimes the comics make good use of taking that whole aspect of it as and drawing a parallel to things like coming out to your family and your community in a sort of LGBT sense. And this is something that they brought into the second movie, with Serene McKellen playing Magneto, being a famous and vocal advocate for queer rights and stuff, being gay himself, but you don't have to be an advocate. But anyway, yeah, and it was interesting reading about that, how he consulted with the film creators for the scene when Bobby is telling his family about how he's a mutant, and playing up that aspect of it from his, you know, experience in that arena. Cool. So they're really going to go through everybody, aren't they? It's a big boss rush moment, I guess. Who was good against Sabretooth? Logan's always good to use because he can regenerate. Yeah, Wadito says, I don't think Mystique can copy their ability. Well, in this game, she can. And she's really tough, apparently. Lots of health. So yeah, reading a little bit briefly about Chris Claremont and what he brought to the series, I think that was kind of part of what he did there. Maybe? I'm not sure. I haven't read many of the comics, unfortunately, but it is interesting seeing how much of what he did has influenced later iterations of the series, including the movies. He's credited on his Wikipedia page for introducing more complex themes and character dynamics into the series, as well as co-creating a lot of really good female characters, and I rattled off a big list of them earlier, so Mystique's one of his co-creations, of course, who we just fought, or we're still fighting. Oops. But yeah, since this game is so heavily following up on X2, I'll note as well that the storyline of the movie X2 is pretty much based on one of his arcs called God Loves, Man Kills. So we can thank him for that as well. And since this is kind of a tie into the third movie as well, he also contributed to that in the sense that a lot of, I guess, is it the B plot or is it the A plot? I don't know. The Dark Phoenix plot. He brought the Dark Phoenix into the comics and the Phoenix concept in general. And that, of course, went into the more recent Dark Phoenix reboot movie as well. Hold on a second. Oh yeah, his page also noted that he's responsible for the development of Wolverine into a fan favorite. So Wolverine, certainly a huge part of the movie universe. So we can thank him for that as well, making him a more complex character in various ways. Yes. Go. Got a few good hits in. Should probably, yep. Oh boy. Okay, hold on a second. We'll go back here just to get through this a bit quicker. If I take Mystique and then pop my quad damage, avoid her attack. There we go. Beautiful stuff. I really should be making better use of that quad damage, but oh well. Yeah, I've got a note here about, under my Chris Claremont notes, saying about the portrayal of mutants as a prejudiced minority, or prejudiced against, I should say, discriminated against. Yeah, that's the kind of whole aspect of the mutant thing that I find really interesting. Okay. Stupid X-Men, can't you see we're fighting for you here? What are you talking about, Mystique? Stryker, he's launching his Sentinel program. Government robots designed to hunt and kill mutants, and you storm in here helping him. Stryker's dead. He will be soon. If you had any heart, you'd be helping us out. I don't have time to sit here and chat. See ya. Wait, stop! I have retrieved the parts. We should leave. Oh, okay, he did it off screen. That's very helpful, Colossus. Thank you. Storm, did you catch that? Yes, Bobby, but we have what we came for. Get out of there. No, we're staying. Wolverine, I'm not giving you an option. We can't run off and leave something like this behind. If Mystique's telling the truth, we've got to stop Stryker. This sounds like it has more to do with you than the X-Men. Don't get everyone killed over an old grudge, Wolverine. Wolverine's right, Storm. We can't let a program like that get off the ground. Count me in, Kurt. One final battle, I'm with you. Oh, my accents are awful. Okay, be safe and get out soon. See you all outside. Okay, so we should be approaching the end soon. So good timing, I think. I'll just take the time to deal with this one guy. Beautiful stuff. Alright, cut. Your turn. Ah! Oh. So what's the point of that shaft? Maybe we double back later. Ow. Okay, maybe, yeah. Cut's a little fragile sometimes. Ah! I mentioned Excalibur before. Kurt's an important member of that team. And I think Chris Claremont, again, co-created that team. It's kind of where some of the Captain Britain characters ended up, so... oh gosh, what's his name again? Something Braddock? Brian Braddock. And then, of course, his sister was Psylocke. Betsy. Ah! No! Ah! And yeah, Kitty was in Excalibur. I think Colossus was there for a while. What? Okay, cool. I think the current version of Excalibur has Apocalypse on the team. Ah, forget it. Yoink. Ow, stop it. Ugh. The bullets keep interrupting me. I don't like this. Go away. Alright, well that could have gone down. Hold on a second. Okay. I guess they want us to actually fight things sometimes. What do you know? I'm trying things. They're not quite working. Getting unfairly ganged up on. Okay. Ugh. See, if you get stun locked, then you can't pull off some of your attacks. So... Ow! Oh man! Alright, alright. So if I do this, wait for that, and then hit those. Come on. That's fine. Ah. Okay. Right, they do hurt you when they explode. No! Alright, so one thing I should probably talk about while playing this game is the developers of this game. Of course, I've played a lot of WayForward games before on stream. I played Sigma Star Saga, played Mighty Flip Champs a bit. I've played Sabrina the Animated Series, 2 of those games on Game Boy Color. What else have I played? Oh, that's right, Extreme Sports on GBC, that was fun. As well as Wendy Every Which Way. All very cool, cute, showing that signature animation style, high number of frames, and very smoothly animated, all that stuff. As well as like just good, 2D platforming kind of stuff. But yeah, as for the people who worked on it, yeah, for this game we had one guy who is credited with directing, writing, and producing, as well as writing, so probably responsible for doing the actual dialogue script in the game. whereas Chris Claremont was doing the overall story of the events, right? And this guy is Adam Tierney, who pops up on a lot of WayForward games of the period, of course. He was also director on River City Girls, the recent cool beat 'em up in the Kunio-kun series, but with the focus on female characters, which is always nice, and something that WayForward's known for as well. Well, don't need that now. Is this a dead end? That's unfortunate. So this level's a bit more of a maze, I guess. Maybe they all are, but I was just getting lucky a lot of the time. Well, you can keep popping there, Toad. That's fine. So I guess they cloned Toad, I guess was the implication. No. Nice, and I got a health out of it. Lovely. Ow. Yeah, Blood Rain Betrayal actually had a bit of that. Enemies that would explode and you knock them into other ones. Oops. That worked well. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. If you fall all the way down there, that's where that pickup is. So it's a dead end, but also a drop down. Oh, okay. That's the end. Lovely. Yeah, so this guy, Adam Tierney, also worked on the Flash Game Boy Advance game that I mentioned, the Batman Brave and the Bold game, as well as Aliens Infestation, a well-regarded Aliens licensed game there in the DS. He's also credited for the original concept of Mighty Switch Force and writer on Descendants, the Disney-based game, which I guess, you know, writing would be important to that one. Also worked in the art department on things like the Thor DS game, Sigma Star Saga, and the mobile game Bonk's Return. So either he was doing contract work out there, or maybe WayForward worked on that. I'll have to look into that a bit more, but I think Two Tribes was credited with development of that. Now he seems to be a business development manager, which is what his credit is for things like Shantae and the Seven Sirens and Bloodstained, even the recent Castlevania successor game. Right, Striker's here. Well, 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 look who's come home. I should have killed you when I had the chance, Striker. You wouldn't dare. I've done too much for you. You're a menace. Menace? Menace? Logan, how many of my men have you killed in the last hour? In the last 10 minutes? How many families and lives have you affected today? Mutants are the menace, my friend. And the sooner we're done with you, the sooner humanity can rest easy. So I guess he survived the end of X2. Sure, let's go with it. You speak of genocide. Call it what you want. I call it necessity, self-preservation, and the country is behind me, including our president, thanks to your blue friend over there. Okay. But at the end of the movie, the X-Men all went to the White House and, like, convinced the president that they were, like, on their side. So is this happening before that? Maybe he doesn't know about that. Well, whatever. Ludna, you used me. You're not leaving this room alive, Stryker. Wadida says, that's not Stryker from Mortal Kombat 3. No, indeed it's not. Gibbon says, oh, Aliens Infestation. What does that mean? I thought that game was good. What are your thoughts on it, Gibbon? I'd like to know. You're a huge fan of Alien. Have it your way. Let me slip into something more comfortable. What does that mean? Oh, great. He's got an alien mix on. Look at that thing. Amazing. Ouch. This looks like a job for Bobby. Nope, not that one, that one. Oh! Okay, avoid the guns. Come in. Get one of these. Oops. Ah! Hold on a second. Looks like it should do a lot of damage. Maybe I can... Yeah! Wadide says it looks like Ed 209 from Robocop. Yes, wow. That's a good call, actually. Oh, I love to be the one stun locking instead of being stun locked. What do you know? Bobby turned out to be MVP. Good stuff. All it took was judicious use of my super meter, which I neglected the whole game. It's over. No, it's just begun. Striker's right. Hatred toward mutants is too strong. Come on, let's get out of here. Oh, I completely forgot his voice. Never mind. Oh, there's more. Good. Time bomb set, get out fast. Yeah, that boss fight turned out to be pretty simple. Oops. Yeah, Tony says, wow, cheesing it. Well, I don't mind cheesing if it gets me through. Okay. Stop it. Little jerks. Yeah, so Gibbon says about Aliens Infestation. It is good. It was also a handheld tie-in to Colonial Marines, back when Colonial Marines was working off one of the rejected Alien 3 scripts. So it's one of those weird handheld tie-ins to a console game that didn't exactly happen. So a bit like Conker's Pocket Tales, a tie-in to 12 Tales, even though 12 Tales didn't happen. Interesting. I didn't know the full story of it, so yeah, good time. Uh-oh. What's this? Big sentinel hands? I think we're not done with the game. Oh, that's cool. That's very cool. Bit of a hint there, what's coming up. Should have known the game wouldn't be over. We'll be here a little bit longer. A little bit past the 2-hour mark, if you don't mind. Oops. No, whatever. Goodbye. Oh, it's the head. I guess there's 2 of them then? Well, presumably they're mass producing them. Hey, what do you know? Killing enemies is useful because they give you health. Who'd have thunk it? Not me. I'm leaving. Goodbye. Okay, so Wadeo says that the combat on lesser enemies feels unsatisfying. Yeah. Especially the ones that take a lot of hits to kill. That's not an unfair assessment there. Also saying that Nightcrawler is an interesting choice for this. I think the character choice may have been decided by other versions of the game. I think in the console version all 4 of these people are playable. But yeah, he's an interesting choice given that he's not in the 3rd movie at all. But they might not have cut his part out at this stage of development. Then again, yeah, having a reduced role even... Because he was a really big part of X2, so since this is really following X2 quite closely, he makes sense as a choice. the chin, Wadito. Oh, Wolf's here. Hi, Mitch. Good to see you. That comment about Nightcrawler was from Wolf, actually. Nightcrawler is an interesting choice for this. Yeah, it's fun using his teleport ability to get around, actually, which makes him cool. But anyway, yeah, this is Multiple Man. He's kind of a bit part in the third movie. Well, 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 if it isn't the X-Men. You're a little late, guy. Everyone's been defeated. Great, you saved me the trouble. Get out of our way. I'm afraid I can't do that. Magneto sent me here. It's insurance. No one leaves a compound alive. That includes you. Then we're going through you. Try it. Alright. Oh, okay. So, a rolling boss fight through a collapsing corridor with clone multiple. I thought Nightcrawler would help me get ahead better in this, but it's a little awkward. Let's try my mainstay, Logan. Tony's got another 500 trophies. Oops. Do I just die if I go off screen? Yep, starts you back at the start. So you just have to jump over his clones. An interesting idea for a boss fight, actually. Ow. And the clones die in one hit. So we should try and limit ourselves to one attack so it doesn't slow us down too much. Oh, seriously? This is pretty rough, actually. I'm really bad at pressing buttons only once, by the way. I tend to mash them multiple times to try and get them to do what I want. So what I just said, I'm not going to be able to do it. Oh my gosh. Oh. Alright, let's just start again. So Gibbon says, in the console version, everyone has different level styles, the same way Sonic Adventure 2 does, and you go through different bits as different people, and can't swap on the fly. Oh man. Gibbon says, you're like halfway through the story, lol. Oh, I see. I really thought I was getting close to the end. Maybe I should stop now. This boss fight's pretty tough anyway. Yeah. These streams aren't supposed to go for too long, so I might stop now. I'll cover a last few of my notes and what's happening in chat, but we'll just wind down now. So I did want to tell you about the lead programmer in this game, Larry Holdaway, who also worked in the first 3 Shantae games, the Flash game on GBA, Contra 4, Mighty Switch Force, and what's that? ABAHB, A Boy and His Blob. Awesome game. A lot of the writers and animators on this game are also involved in similar projects to Holdaway and to T&E, the director. Among the animators, of course, Joachim Sandberg, who I played some of his games. He worked at WayForward for a long time as an animator and then did some of his own games in a similar style. And they're really good, all his solo games, especially the latest one, Iconoclasts, I highly recommend. The sound for the game credited to Shinen Multimedia, who we've seen before on GBA games doing the sound engine and stuff. Oddly, when reading through credits, I noticed that Jessica Alba, the actor who plays Invisible Woman in the Fantastic Four movies, the first 2 of them, yeah, she's there as a special thanks. I have no idea why. Yeah. I think that's all on my notes, so let's see what people have just said in chat. Yeah, Wolf says it's interesting seeing the movie concepts with comic-looking characters. Yeah, I've noticed that. They've redesigned some of the characters. Multiple Man is very colourful here, and they have made adjustments so that they look more comic-like, which is a cool choice. It works for a game like this especially. Yes, everybody join the Jungle Hijinks Guild in Crash on the Run. Tony says that this reminds them of a WarioWare micro game, except overly long. Or, oh, are you talking about Crash on the Run? Possibly. It's fun though. Yeah, I think they're saying that this game was fun. I'd love to see more. Anyway, I am a mutant. My power is to give Milo the strength to finish licensed games. Aw, thank you. I really appreciate it, and I really need it too. Are you telling me that I should keep going? Gibbon's telling me that I'm only halfway through the story, so I think it might not be feasible to do an entire run of the game today. But I could go a little bit longer if you're up for it. I don't have any pressing commitments today. Except to bring in the washing before the sun goes down. Ow, stop it. I wonder if... yeah, Bobby's probably a good choice, actually. And then when I get a minute, I'll use that. Oops. Okay, that didn't happen. Oh, the boss battle. Yeah, Tony met the boss battle. It's like a WarioWare game. Given us... He's got a health bar. Are you supposed to actually hurt him? Yeah, I'd assume so in that case. It's just getting close to him is the problem. Let's try... destroy multiple man. Do you think they wasted multiple man in the movie? I think they had a pretty cool use of him. The scene where the army is sneaking up on Magneto's mutant camp and he's multiplied himself so that he makes a bunch of heat signatures to fool them. Ugh. Okay, well, Nightcrawler's teleporting actually doesn't have a lot of range in this moving auto-scroller, so maybe not so good. And Bobby's, like, auto-aiming attack is way too slow, so I end up almost off screen. And then I get hit a bunch of times, apparently, by the clones. If I catch up and then do this, but it only hits one. And if it hits a clone, then it won't hit the main one, which is not good, not what I need. Logan might be the best choice, because he runs reasonably fast. I'll give Peter a quick try, but yeah, he's kind of slow. But like the best way of doing damage while keeping moving is to do a jump attack, so attacking while in midair. If you're a Castlevania veteran, this is another thing you'll know very well. Do a midair attack even just before you hit the ground, because it lets you have a bit of momentum instead of standing stock still while attacking, which is the default mode in this game as well. So it'd be good if I could clear them and clear over the clones before they attack as well. Nuts. Come on. Oh man. Come on. Maybe Bobby with his speed and range in that attack is actually the best choice. I just have to try and not do that special attack by accident. Wadito says that Multiple Man seems more competent than the other Brotherhood of Mutants characters. Well... Ow. You're not wrong. He certainly runs fast enough. Oh my gosh. Speaking of running fast though, Kurt actually is the fastest runner, so he might be a good choice. It's just getting any damage on him is the hard part. Because then he'll summon a clone, which will then just delay you. But even if I do a hit... Oh, come on. I can run under the jumping ones. Okay. So if you pay attention closely... Oh. I thought their pose might tell you what they're going to do, like... Or maybe they do it in order. 2 jumping and then 2 standing. No, that's not it. Standing. Jumping. Standing. Jumping. Yeah, maybe it alternates. Alright, let's start this bit again. That's Logan, I think. Oh, that was 2 jumping! Maybe it's the kind of terrain that he's on. No? Oh my gosh. If I can't predict that, then there's no way I'll be able to approach him. Because it's best to go under the jumping ones, over the standing ones. But you just don't really know which one it's going to be. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you so much, Tony. Tony says that they looked up a video. You don't have to hit him, you just got to survive. And Wadita's kind of bothered by the crumbling noise. I'll turn it down. That's fair. Okay, I've lowered the volume of game audio on stream. Oh, actually, that's not enough. I'll lower it more. Okay, so I just have to survive. I just have to get through. That is really good to know. Thank you for telling me. Otherwise, I would have really struggled. Oops. Also, there's like 30 minutes of the game left. Okay. So Gibbon going off... Oops. Going off knowledge of the console game thinks that we're halfway through the story. But judging by footage that others have made, we're half an hour from the end, which tells me that I'm going to keep playing. So yeah. Thanks. I'll go a bit later today, which means our latecomers will be able to stick around longer. Good to see you, folks. Oh, come on. No. Maybe we'll bring Kurt out again. Ah. No, stop it. You jerks. Okay. Wolverine's down, but that's okay. We'll just keep running. Tank our way through. Take a hit and keep running. Okay, I can do that. Oops. Come on, Kurt. Oh no, it's Bobby. Let's go, let's go. Gibbon theorizing that they may have truncated things for the GBA version. Oops. Okay, we're almost there. Maybe? I hope? Hey! Oh, now the real fight. That's really bad. Okay. Woof. Luckily they chucked that X icon at us, which brought back my best character, Logan. But he's going to be sending his clones out at me. Which one's the real one? Which one is Madrox Prime? Yes, stunlock them. Yes. Awesome. Love it. Oh yeah, I am getting spam. Awesome. Gibbon, can you deal with that, please? Thank you. And thus nothing happened. X-Men, over here. Let's get moving. It's finally done. No, there's something left. Something big. What are you... Oh, man. Oh, it's the Master Mold. That's not just a Sentinel, people. This is like... This is a big deal. Yeah. What is that thing? Target. Tony says that was really satisfying to beat up Multiple Man so easily. Multiple Man could be a ninja, says Wadito. Yeah. It's a really interesting power. I think they do some really cool things with him in the comics sometimes. Whatever it is, it does not look happy. Destroy. Here we go. Alright. This is rad. Look at this background. Ow. Stop it. Kaboom. Yes, we are going to complete this game today, people. It's happening. Colossus, you also don't look doesn't look happy, says Wadito. Yeah. So, talking about the character selection in this game, I was disappointed to learn who the playable characters were. You know, you could have had Rogue, Storm, even Kitty at this point, but maybe their powers are slightly less conducive for this kind of beat 'em up game. That's kind of an excuse, but okay. But it is disappointing to have no women in the playable cast. But yeah, that's common to all versions of the game, I guess. Kind of reminds me of, like, the way they make toys sometimes in certain franchises that are geared towards boys, so they only have mostly male characters in the toy line. You know, just because that's who they're marketing and selling it towards, so the female characters can be underserved in that kind of context. I wonder if that's affecting the decisions here. Possibly. But like I said, next time I stream I'll be playing other X-Men games and should have a bit more balance. More than no women anyway. Alright, fine. Let's give Peter another chance. And you know, even though he's a full member of the team in the third movie, I think he has like one line in the movie. And then in Days of Future Past, he has one word. He says, Mystique. Ow. You know what? I still like Logan best. Oops. I think it'd be good to grab that as Nightcrawler. In the Munich Circus, I was known as the Incredible Nightcrawler. Oh, by the way, it's funny, Alan Cumming, who played Kurt Wagner in the second movie, actually speaks fluent German, so the times when he had to say certain German phrases aloud, yeah, that was in his skill set, which is nice. Wodito says, I see the X-Men female cast a fragile type like mage or wizard, so the glass cannon archetype, perhaps. Which is a thing you see in some fantasy-themed games as well, where the female representatives are in certain classes only, like mage classes and so on. Yeah, Wodito's drawing a parallel there to the X-Men cast, which is not always the case, but I think the same sort of ideas go into it by the writers when they're creating the characters and situations, as what affects that kind of representation in the fantasy type settings that I mentioned. So yeah, it probably is a phenomenon in that case. Ow. Dang it. I should have avoided those better. Okay. I haven't really seen much of it, Tony. Tony's saying the Mario Kart ride at Universal looks pretty bad. Yeah, not gonna bother with those. Ow. Yeah, I haven't been following that too closely. Ah, stop it. Ah. I think this looks like a job for jumping. Hang on a second. It's not letting me jump off that slope very easily. Stop it. Health drops? Yeah. Oh. So, not that way. Yeah, I wonder if I can skip something if I do this. Well, Nightcrawler had enough agility to get over here. I was trying to teleport over here, but I didn't need to. Yeah, there we go. There's some bonus pickups there for me. They sure are throwing a lot of these restores. What's this? Is this the boss? Okay, we're here. This might be the master mold? Excuse me? We have incredibly powerful shots coming out of that thing, apparently. Ow! Kaboom! Well, I won't mind if it spits out some drones. They give me health pickups sometimes. And then I can... Yep, okay. Wonder if they do much damage to the head. Oops. That's it. Logan, get back out here, buddy. Ow. Stop it. Oh, man. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Since they also keep dropping bar recharge, might as well use it. Boom! Go, go, bam, bam! Duh. Well, I can grab that back. Do it again. Yes, ignore the damage. Get through it. Yes. Did we win? It got another health bar. What's happening? Oh, I see. We're climbing inside this giant sentinel factory body and destroying the core. Whoop! It spat me out and recharged itself. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we're better off doing a bit of avoidance here. Okay, that's rough. Let's change character. Give Logan a chance to get his health back. Oh no, Peter! Oh well. Ah! Oh, come on. How am I supposed to do anything if you're constantly shooting homing bolts at me? And the homing is so effective. Ah. Yes. No, the health pickups disappeared. That's rude. I wonder if Kurt would be good at avoiding these. No! Oh my gosh. This is really rude. No! The drones really damage you a lot, as well as the attacks, the homing shots. Ugh. No, stop it! Okay, Dark Souls, remember. Good. Yes, it went away. What did I get hit? Yes. Bobby, take this hit for me. Oh, what happened there? Oh, Logan went down. Wait, he's back? What's happening? Well, at least I got a recharge on somebody. Guess Bobby's gonna carry me through the next phase. How many times do I need to do this again? Ugh. Save state. Alright, Bobby. It's back. Oh, okay. Can I, like, crouch under that, maybe? I can. Beautiful. Just don't attack, because then you stand up. Ow, ow. Okay. I can't turn off super mode if I activate it. Oh, golly. Alright, so if I'm here... I don't like this. I don't like how this battle is going down. Oh, there's more space over here. And pickups, so many. Okay, well that's good to know. Let me see. I think Logan is still my best bet for this fight. What was that? Wait, what? Something weird happened there with the characters. Oh. Does Logan actually recharge even if he gets knocked down? Ah, who knows. Alright. Let's do that. Take a few of these out. Oh, yes. Wait, what? Was I punching those projectiles back? Maybe Colossus is the true MVP of this battle. Oh, I almost had that down. Okay. How many times? Tony says the soundtrack's okay, but it doesn't fit. The boss theme isn't as bad as the regular one, though. This boss theme isn't as bad as the regular one. That's got to be the last one. Oh, okay. Whatever that thing was, it's dead now. Ugh. It looked like just like the Sentinel robots. What if there's more of them? That's something we'll deal with another day. Come on, let's go home. And that's the end. Very perfunctory closing cutscene there. Woo! Oh boy. Yep, Voldiway, Matt Bozon, all this names. Adam Tierney 2. That's odd. Okay, so the 2 is actually in his name. Never mind. Yeah, programmers there. We saw them. Written by Adam Tierney. Is that a different Adam Tierney? Anyway, yeah. Based on a story by Chris Claremont there. Sprite designers, X-Men animator Paula Robertson. Enemy animators and boss animators are separate. Hard workers all. Portrait artists, very well done as well. Joachim Sandberg would have been in there. I missed it, but anyway. Level designers, etc., etc. Thanks all to these people. Sound, Shin, and multimedia. Given says that was highly truncated from the console version. Do you want to give us a little brief rundown of stuff that was cut from the console port that you remember? Yes, as Tony says, they all died on the way back home. Oof. And as far as contributions to the X-Men movie lore, I think, aside from the fact that like, oh, Sabretooth survived and maybe they met Juggernaut earlier or something. Yeah, having Laura show up was a really fun little surprise there. What console? This was GBA. The console versions of the game were released on the PlayStation 2, the GameCube, the Xbox Zero, the Xbox 360, PC computer, DS, and J2ME mobile phone. Oh yeah, that's right. We were talking about Silver Samurai before. Didn't appear in this version of the game, so there you go. So Gibbons says, like, there's a whole thing with Deathstrike and the Silver Samurai for one. The Sabretooth fight was moved up. Striker's son was in there, and just a bunch of other stuff. Well, that sounds pretty cool. I can't wait to play it. I will eventually on my own time. The GBA one was just for the stream. So, yeah. I don't even know what gameplay mode the J2ME version is, actually. I would guess side-scroller, but at the same time, around this time, there were quite a few, or a couple of X-Men like RPGs from an isometric perspective. That's pretty interesting. I think it's X-Men Legends 1 and 2 from memory. But yeah, Deathstrike surviving would be a bit of a surprise. Silver Samurai showing up would be interesting given later installments in the movie series, but yeah, cool stuff. Thanks for playing. And thank you for watching. I hope you had a good time with the X-Men. Yeah, next time I stream, which will probably... I'm on holidays now, so I might do another one in a couple of days. And I'll play some other assorted X-Men games that might have a more diverse character selection. So if you have a favorite, stay tuned. I've already made the choices for which games I'm going to play, but yeah. Gibbon saying, "Ooh, I wonder how the 360 version looks upscaled on the Series X." Well, if it supports it. Might be interesting, yes. Reminds me of... It was like the second Avatar: The Last Airbender game released on the Xbox 360, but no other HD consoles. Wadita was expecting better combat. Sorry. And Gibbon saying that hopefully those other X-Men games I'm going to play have better gameplay than this one. People weren't a fan of this game, were they? Yeah, I guess with licensed games like this, the strength that WayForward brings is the animation and the graphics. They're good generally at 2D games, but it's a bit of a spectrum. Sometimes it's not as good as you'd like, I guess. X-Men for Sega Genesis, says Tony. Well, I will be playing a game that is on the Mega Drive, but it's not called X-Men for Sega Genesis. Whatever that is. Stay tuned and find out. I think it'll be 2 days from now, probably. Tony says, "I liked it. They tried." Yes, I'll give WayForward that. They often try, but it's obvious it's kind of rushed, they say. Cough, the ending. All right, so that wraps up X-Men, the official game, bridging the narrative of X2 and X-Men: The Last Stand. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Lots of fun watching, says Tony. Thank you for saying so. It was fun having all of these friends in chatting and keeping me company. So thank you very much for that. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.